Not bad, Konami. Well, Konami just ninja dropped Master Duel a couple of days ago as of recording this video, so I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about Yu-Gi-Oh! So for those who are new to my channel, welcome to my channel. I appreciate you being here. I'm Rakimdar, gaming content creator, and an avid lover of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. I used to play it a lot as a kid, even doing all of the random rule-breaking shenanigans such as tribute summoning synchro monsters, but even now, I have grown to love the game once more. Me and my brothers a few years ago over the holidays decided to pick up some packs and relearn modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And since then, I have been an avid player of Duel Links as well. Well, kind of. I used to play a lot of Duel Links, and I even created content on it, with most of my videos on this channel being, or most of my most popular videos on this channel being from Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I have a beginner's guide series on there that's oddly popular, so despite being outdated, and I have a lot of gameplay and such. So the moment that Master Duel was announced, I knew for sure that I wanted to go play it and create content for it. I wasn't super interested in focusing on it and only creating Yu-Gi-Oh! Content like I did in the past with Duel Links, but instead I wanted to just create videos here and there and talk about the game when it came out like I am right now. I still plan to do other content. I do want to, I want to still make general gaming content and continue working on videos like I have in the past year. And I even still have one in the works. I just kind of got a little sick, so that got delayed. So instead you're getting this one. But anyway, I wanted to give you guys my first impressions of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. So right out of the gate, we're going to start with a lot of praise. I loved what I experienced with this game. There is a lot to like here. The animations, the fluidity of, picking cards and executing effects and such. All of that is really well done, and it even has a great spectator aspect to it. The animations are, iconic and bombastic, making it exciting for people to watch, and the chain link stuff that they have also makes it a lot clearer as to what's going on. For example, if you're negating something with a card, it pulls out like this big 3D chain animation so that a non Yu-Gi-Oh! Player might understand, this one's getting resolved first and then this one is blocking this one, or things of that nature. So a lot of really great things there. In terms of the story mode, there's also a lot of really good stuff. It's not a story mode necessarily, it's more like a solo, just like a solo mode, mission mode. But it does give you a lot of lore and background for some of the archetypes, as well as being a introduction to those archetypes gameplay-wise. I honestly really like this. There's a lot of early gems here, so there's a lot of great rewards for new players getting into the game and being able to collect a lot of resources to make cards or buy cards. And for the most part, it's just a really kind of fleshed out system. I really hope moving forward that we see a lot more from this solo mode. I really think that this is one of the highlights of the game. The AI is even pretty competent. It'll do some, good plays with the decks that they're provided, so it's even some decent practice if you want to take one of your new decks that you just built and test it out. There's a great opportunity for you to do that there in the solo mode. In terms of the ranked mode, it's not all there. Unfortunately, there's a couple of pages for the event modes and whatnot, so I'm not quite sure what they have planned. I know they said they've had a lot of things planned for it, but that's not out yet. And the highest rank right now is Platinum, so there's not even a King of Games ranking or anything, or, Legend or higher rankings for you to achieve. It stops at Platinum, so I think those will come out, subsequently as the game goes on. But all in all, in terms of gameplay and what it does for the Yu-Gi-Oh community, I think this is going to be kind of a game changer, so to speak, for the Yu-Gi-Oh scene. The Master Duel rule set is a little different from the TCG OCG. It has its own ban list that kind of combines the two, so it's going to have its own unique meta. And it's been pretty fun watching all of the different content creators being able to go in and experiment with so many different decks and kind of, get their bearings and watch them come to terms with what the new meta is for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. But that's kind of the great thing about this, is now we have kind of an official simulator that will centralize a lot of the community. Unfortunately, with Duel Links, it was a different rule set, so while there was a lot of people who enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh! That wanted to play it here and there, it didn't accommodate all of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan base because it had its own unique rule set and card pool, so there were some people who preferred the actual card game itself. With Master Duel, that is now remedied. We can now have this kind of central card game, central simulator for us to play, and it'll be a great thing moving forward as the game evolves and the content creation scene for Yu-Gi-Oh! Progresses and improves. There's a lot of great potential here for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community to continue to grow, get some new faces in, a new audience, and be able to expand as a scene, whereas before it was a little too jarring to come into it. And I think that's fantastic. That is a great thing, and that was one of the big things, but one of the big reasons that I wanted Master Duel to exist and wanted to have it come out, because unfortunately it was really difficult to try and get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Or try to, spectate or watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Online in various ways. You either had these random simulators that didn't really clear anything up about what was going on. You can watch it and it would still be a little interesting, but the thing is, if you didn't know anything about the deck that was being played, it really wasn't clear what was happening, what was going on, or what was being executed. And so unfortunately, if you're learning a new deck or if you're brand new to Yu-Gi-Oh, you're just kind of overwhelmed with everything going on, especially since Yu-Gi-Oh is kind of bonkers. There's a ton of nonsense. There's just all kinds of effects, combos, and everything going on. So a new player is going to get completely overwhelmed by that. The other way to watch is to watch actual players in kind of like local tournaments doing using their camera to record them actually using the cards. And this is true if you watched like the World Championship as well. They would bring a camera over top and basically kind of show you what kind of cards was being played. They would show you the whole board and what you would watch the people play. But the problem with that is, again, if you don't know what's going on, if you don't know the decks or the card types, you're basically lost. And it's a much harder to even read them because you can't even see the cards whenever whenever people are playing it with the real card game. Like, you can't even see them. You can't tell what's going on unless you know what the deck is, or the commentators are god tier, which even then it's a little confusing. And it basically just creates this situation where people are not as interested to watch and they just kind of move on. The other official Konami games are slow and clunky, and they don't even have all the cards yet. So there would be a lot of, you wouldn't be getting the full experience. I know Legacy of the Duelist was out for a while. They updated their card pool a little bit, but unfortunately they're still lacking. And even then, it's a much, older game. The animations, the combos are slow. Everything just feels clunky to control. So it's a fun game and it has its moments, but for the most part, it's not a great stream game for people to actually bring in an audience and try to get people to, get people watching Yu-Gi-Oh! I think Master Duel is going to kind of remedy a lot of that. And like I mentioned, there is a ton of potential here for growth within this community. It's very centralizing. I saw pretty much every single content creator under the Yu-Gi-Oh scene, the Yugi-tubers, pretty much every single one of them was playing Master Duel, crafting new decks, trying to get cards, playing the decks that they really like. You get these different scenarios where a lot of different Yugi-tubers, a lot of different people are able to come together and kind of coalesce into one central game. So many praises to the gameplay and many praises to what it brings to Yu-Gi-Oh! Now we get to talk about the elephant in the room. How is the crafting? How is the card collection? How is the microtransactions? Well, I'm a little bit surprised, to say the least. I'm very happy with what I initially saw as my first impression. As someone who doesn't intend to spend any money on the game, I was really happy that as a free-to-play, player coming in, I was able to pick up a lot of cards and build 2 to 3 decks, depending on how expensive they were. The greatest praise that I have to give Konami, at least here at the start of the game, is that there is no paywall. Everything that you can obtain in the game can be obtainable by using gems, which is the in-game currency. These gems can of course be purchased with real money to expedite the system, but if you're a free-to-play player, you can just keep grinding and get new gems, and you'll be able to purchase or have access to pretty much everything in the game so far. That is phenomenal. Even the gold pass, which I do recommend you pick up, if you collect all of the resources, all of the rewards from the gold pass, you'll basically get your gems back. So I think it's always worth it to, at least this one is worth it to purchase with gems. I highly recommend you do it. But anyway, even like I said, even the gold pass, usually battle passes are paid things. You put in $10 and you get extra rewards throughout the course of the pass. Not for here. You can actually get the gold pass with gems, which is fantastic. That is something that I honestly did not think Konami would do. I was really hesitant. The outlook from Duel Links, from my experience with Duel Links, made me really hesitant to think that Konami would create a more free-to-play friendly experience here. I was really worried because Duel Links is very gacha-like, and honestly one of the reasons that I decided to stop playing it as heavily. And so I wasn't quite sure if they were going to fall into those same patterns here with Master Duel. I was a little worried there's going to be a lot more paywalls, a lot more microtransaction gacha-like systems, but thankfully that's not necessarily the case. Now, collecting gems, at least right now, is very easy. They give you a ton of gems right now as the game is starting, but this could change, and unfortunately this is something that Duel Links suffers from, and that is gem scarcity. As the game progresses, basically they don't give you enough ways to accumulate gems in game, and eventually you'll have to spend money on them. This so far is, I'm noticing after my second day. The first day I was really excited because I'm like, ooh boy, I get to play a bunch of cards and I'm getting a ton of gems. But the second day I am noticing that kind of downgrade, that drop of gem income. Like, it's not as significant as it was on the first day. So I am noticing that a little bit. Only time will tell if moving forward they continue this trend. Hopefully the events and the new solo mode missions and all of the other things that they continue adding to the game will give us many ways to accumulate gems and such. So I'm really hoping that doesn't turn out to be like Duel Links, because that was one of the biggest frustrations. Even Duel Links went even further beyond. They were like, we're just gonna create a selection box, and after a while you can't even use gems on it. So they went really far into that territory over there. I'm really hoping that's not the case here, and I'm really hoping that as the game progresses, the gem income stays and maintains itself, because that is a big worry moving forward with their past record with Duel Links. In terms of the overall mechanic of buying packs and getting the secret boxes and secret booster packs that they have, I actually think it's not too bad. Basically, the way that it works is if you get a secret rare from a certain archetype, it will unlock a booster pack from that archetype or theme. It's not necessarily only one archetype in those booster packs. Sometimes it's a theme of sorts, like the The Eldritch booster pack will have Eldritch monsters, but it's also related to vampire monsters, and it's got this like undead, permanently resurrection type themes going on that in that single booster pack. So unfortunately, it's you still have to kind of dig through and hope to the RNG gods, but thankfully we do have the crafting system to kind of make up for some of those shortcomings. The crafting system is fantastic. Basically, 3 disenchants of a UR, or any card actually, 3 disenchants of any card turns into 1 card of that rarity. So if you disenchant 3 URs, you can get 1 UR. And I think that's not terrible. There's definitely worse ways to go about that. And thanks to the crafting system, I was able to collect a lot of staples, collect a lot of, important boss monsters for my archetypes, the 3 Eldritch monsters, for example, 3 Ash Blossoms. All of those I was able to pick up and collect thanks to this crafting system. Obviously, normals and rares are going to be easily craftable. As you collect boxes, or as you keep opening packs, you're going to have way more copies than you need. But one of the nice things about this is if you disenchant one of the upgraded rarities, so there's ultra rare, but you can get like foiling on the card. And if you disenchant one of those, you get more resources. So sometimes you might, if you don't really care about the card and you just want to have more ultra rare points to make more ultra rare cards, you can just disenchant one of the, one of the foiled cards, get 15 instead of 10 points is the way that it works out. So I really like that. I've been doing that a little bit. I'm not a huge, there's some cards where it's like, oh, that's cool that I have the rarity, but I'm not a huge, for online gaming at least, I'm not a huge rarity seeker. So I don't really care about that. I'd rather have more ultra rare points to spend and build more decks. So first impression wise, like I said, I'm pretty impressed. Konami did a decent job here. I think it's going to be a solid game moving forward. Only time will tell if they follow in their Duel Links greedy footsteps. I really hope that doesn't happen here for Master Duel. Yu-Gi-Oh has a lot of potential. I think that it could be a really great opportunity for Yu-Gi-Oh to grow and expand and get more people wanting to play this game. Like I said, the animations, all the stuff at the beginning, fantastic, really great to watch, really fun to play. So I highly recommend, even if you don't want to like play other people, like the solo mode I think is a good opportunity to jump in and just have a good time with some Yu-Gi-Oh. There's maybe like 8 or 9 campaign sections right now, so there's a little bit of content for you guys there, and you'll get some lore story and lore background on some of your archetypes. My favorite is Shiranui, and I was really happy to read some of the Shiranui lore. So that's going to go ahead and wrap up the video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below. That would mean a lot for me. It helps out the channel a lot and helps the algorithm pick it up. And if you want to see more future content from my channel, I will be doing more Yu-Gi-Oh content, but it's not going to be the focus. I'm still going to be doing general gaming as I mentioned. So if that's something that might interest you, feel free to hit the subscribe button down below as well. Let me know your thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I had a blast playing it. I hope it maintains my, the consistency from these first 2 days. I'm going to continue playing it. I really had a good time. So let me know what your thoughts are down below. And of course, I do plan on streaming this game on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Rakamdar. Maybe my YouTube. I think I'm going to just go to Twitch for now, but I haven't quite decided between the two. I think this is a fun stream game, so I do want to, stream it a little bit. I'm not going to I'm not going to focus on it and like only play Yu-Gi-Oh, but I do want to play, more Yu-Gi-Oh and stream it for you guys. So if that might interest you, feel free to follow the Twitch channel. I'll leave the links in the description. Anyway, enough rambling and plugging and all that nonsense. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my discussion, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.